A couple of months ago I showed you around the studio, which it's been more than a year since I showed it to you. And well, what you could see were the cracks in the studio. I haven't cleaned it in probably more than a year. And you could see the dirt, you could see the messy cable management or lack thereof. But I could show you where I make videos, what I used to make videos on my gear, the animals that live with me in my house. You guys really seem to like it, but you told me in the comments a lot about the cable management and being clean. And a few days later, I got an email from OBSBOT, the people that are making the webcams like the one that I'm using right now, the Tiny 2. They offered to send over their OBSBOT Meet 2 4K 30 webcam. So you'll see me cleaning up the studio using the Meet 2 4K webcam as the source. And you'll be able to see the image quality. You can see how it compensates for little or lots of light, which is very, very important. The gestures and the auto framing features. So let's get started. At the beginning, I do that gesture to get a zoom in into my face. And if you hold your palm, you can actually tell the camera to follow you. So it'll track your face, even if you are at the very edge of the source, basically. I'm pointing at the entire studio, and the camera is trying to keep me in the middle, but if I turn that off, it goes back to the beginning. And again, it's a 4K image, so it can crop. And I really do like how it reacts to the lighting with that bigger sensor. You can also, as you can see, zoom in to see what's inside the box and then go back. That simple. So as I was saying, I like when webcams actually can have a good range with lights, because again, I just have a big window in front of me. At this time of the day, I have very good lighting, but if a cloud gets in front of the sun, well, the light is very different and funny, an i9, hilarious. Hopefully it doesn't catch on fire with that overclock. First thing that we're doing basically is to just clean up the place, remove everything. I also found some white gloves I didn't know I had, and I put them on to be like the relaxing end. If you guys ever saw a video of him, that's what it reminded me of, and I had to show you. Then my showing off my duster, as you can see. I also like how the camera focuses very quickly on the subject. There we can see a 2 terabyte hard drive that I didn't even know that I had either. I put it there, I forgot about it. So yeah, I'm basically removing everything just to keep whatever's on the table that is useful. The play button also as well, so thank you so much for 100k subs in 2018, I think it was, so thank you so much. Subscribe if you haven't already. And then I found a spider, so one hit, one kill. I was pretty scared, but it's okay. And that corner is basically ready. Just have boxes with lots of cables in them. But that's not a problem. We can continue on. So the camera goes back. Chair is gone. And now the rest of the stuff. So a long computer, some alcohol, a monitor's box. Yeah, there's a lot of random garbage. Also a computer that has one core. That one, I'm not using it. It had a GT 210 GPU. That's how old it is. And here we have the plushie that Game Science sent over, which is pretty cute. But again, the first step is always to remove as much as you can. Then you have to use a broom for all the smaller particles on the ground. So I removed all that. Then I grabbed the vacuum cleaner to get those extra smaller things that I couldn't reach in tighter spaces. I turned off my PC a few times by accident. I only have one connection. So yeah, you should basically use a vacuum cleaner on those more difficult corners. And after I did that, I started cleaning the ground with very heavy chemicals, if that's a word. It took a few minutes, but it was worth it. I mean, even some of the ground dirt was like black water at the end. And after that got dried, I got all the stuff back into the studio, but trying to put the useful and interesting looking stuff on display, at least for me, for my mental health. Also the cable mess with the Mac Mini I tried fixing it up as well. I moved the hard drives behind the second computer and the Mac Mini behind the computer, so I can have access to the two frontal USB ports, the USB-Cs, and at the same time it's covered by the main computer and the other computer, so you don't see all that cable mess. And I rerouted a few cables. As you can see right now, it's a mess. I can see it all the way from where I'm sitting right now. So with those changes and finding a few orphan cables that led nowhere to nothing whatsoever, they were plugged in for nothing, I started just tying them together, trying to keep them behind the screen. I'm in a very low light environment. The curtains were pulled together so you cannot see the sun going in. And there's very little light in this room, and the camera barely noticed. Yet there's some very minor noise, but the bigger sensor really makes a difference. Again, I'm not touching any of the settings of the camera. Just look at it, complete darkness, and then here comes the light. So yeah, I've been just using my laptop to record this. You can see me there, and the small cute camera pointed at me. One other feature I wanted to highlight about the Meet 2 is that you can flip it, like if it was a phone. You grab the webcam, put it to the side, and it automatically detects you flipping the webcam. So now you have access to, well, more vertical space if you're recording shorts or something like that. In my case, I use it when I'm showing something on the table while recording a short, so you have more verticality. But sometimes I get out, so I rather use horizontal, but it's nice to have that option. As soon as you flip it, it notices and boom, you're now back into landscape.
Hola! Who's a good boy? You are. Okay, I'll let him go. He was actually sleeping right now, so no more boxes on the floor, only the bug killing things behind the door. Now this part, the play button, the tree, and then some gloves that I'm going to put away in a moment. This actually I can throw it away, I'll put it in the trash. Alright, so here's the tools, boxes. This is power supply cables that I had them lying around. Then the boxes that were on the ground now are up here. The Quest 2 for my job is now up here as well. Easy access, I use it very often. Then when it comes to the boxes, I love the Black Myth Wukong boxes that they sent over along with the plushie. So it's there on display, mostly for me, because usually I don't show what's behind the camera. Then when it comes to the table, it still kind of looks like a mess, but I'm going to tour you around a little bit. Let's go behind first so you can see. So it's still a mess, but not as much of a mess when you look at it from the front when I'm basically all day. So now there's less cables, some of them are routed from the side. In the ground, just don't look at the ground. Those cables, I never look at them. Let's pretend they're not there. These ones over here are tied together now. And there's another one to one of the anchors of the monitor that makes it go up, so it's harder for me to spot from the other side. I had some limitations when it came to the capture card because I need 3 or 4 HDMI cables to be dangling here to swap between the Steam Deck and the main computer. And there's a very long cable that goes to the microphone. But what's new apart from that? Well, when you sit down, you can see me over there, hi. The biggest difference, apart from the ground being clean and, well, the dog sleeping, oh, so cute, is that now with the Meet 2, I can actually, instead of showing you only the capture card for the Steam Deck, I had to use a green screen, as you can see right there, with transparency from the webcam, and then record it with my phone in order to get this effect that you're seeing right now, something like that. Well, now with that webcam that is 4K, I can actually do something like this. It has a very great focus, and again, it's a 4K image, and it doesn't obstruct my vision when I'm trying to do my thing. So when I'm streaming, I can put it right there, and if I'm doing a change of GPU or something, I just go this way. And with the camera position updated, pointing at the computer, you can see it right there with very low light. Again, I say very low light because I had to use this one in the past. A very strong light in order to get any semblance of an image. Now with more light it looks even better, more HD actually. So yeah, it will be easier when I'm doing a live stream to show you either the Steam Deck or the computer without lots of grain to it. When it comes to cables, they're less noticeable. I can still reach them if I need to. I can still reach the HDMIs to swap devices for capturing the Steam Deck and the other computer. That's why the limitation there. Computers need to be very close together. But at the end of the day, this looks way better. So yeah, I think it will do lots of good for my mental health, especially not seeing that many cables lying around. The only thing that should be lying around is my dog and my cat that doesn't visit it very often. And I also forgot to show the bottom. So down here, I now only have my tripod and this computer. This computer has an FX 6300. A friend gifted me this computer. He wasn't using it anymore, so I'm going to recycle it and give it to somewhere that needs a computer, so we can breathe new life into other hardware. So in the meantime, it's staying there and waiting for an SSD to arrive. But other than that, very comfortable, well-laced cables. I found a lot of stray cables as well. A stray cable would be like a cable that I don't know what it connects to, and when I look to the other end, there's nothing connected to it. And these are USB-C high-speed cables that I need from time to time to transfer files, so I have them handy over here. Laptop that I shouldn't have here, and here's this box full of stuff that I usually don't use. Sometimes I need to grab something from there, but pretty rare. Now instead of being up here, it can be down there next to the computer, and I have more space in here and in the table as well. Lots more space. And also one other thing that I forgot, I found a stray controller. So this controller, I wasn't using it. It was like behind those two computers. So it's now going to my room, I guess, to control my Steam Deck remotely. Good find. So yeah, that's it. Thanks again to OBSBOT for sponsoring this video. I highly appreciate it. With the Meet 2, we're going to have a huge difference, and you guys can have this webcam at a discounted price using my link in the description below. But thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Sweating bullets while I was doing this, 36 degrees Celsius. But now we can close the door and let the AC do its thing. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time with Max over there. Bye guys, thanks for watching. Actually, Gray ended up being a boy, not a girl. So sometimes we cats can get a bit complicated, but it ended up being a boy. So Gray still works for me. But as you can see, it grew up significantly over the past 3 months. Who's a good boy? You are.